Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at one of brutelogic's exercises or challenges. So here we have a page. The first thing I do when I'm looking for XSS, especially if it's something like that, could be name equals something that has, this, like you'll often see. So like Google would be google.com/ I think it's like q equals, and that's their kind of search function, I believe, or it may be like q.com/search q equals, something like that. I can't really remember. So first thing I'm going to try and do is right away I'm just going to try one payload. So that doesn't work. So now I'm going to look at the source code. And I would also like to get into a habit of opening the dev console, if that would like to open. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so there's nothing in here. There's really nothing in here that's very helpful, so we're going to check the source code. So we have var myobj, which is an object, so variable. So what this is saying is var. So var stands for variable. myobj, which is the variable name, I'm gonna call this an object, equals to that. Okay, and then we have this, which this is taking whatever's in this URL and putting it into properties.php prop equals. We don't have properties.php, so obviously that's a different kind of whole domain. So my object property here, document.getElement by tag plus my. Okay, so now let's have a look at the source code. So that is our previous XSS payload. So let's just let's just try run that again. I could have pressed entered, but I just want to make sure. Okay, so that isn't working, so we can check the console, and it says uncaught reference error, myobj is not defined. Okay, so if we go back to, I believe it's this, as you see that they ain't defining it anywhere. So when you see that in the console, if like you open a website and you have your console, if it says something like this, it may not necessarily say myobj, because myobj is the variable name, the object name, as I'm gonna say. So we don't have to really worry about that, but we have to, obviously that's going to be our attacked point, is what I'm trying to say. So we're going to attack that point. So we know that our default, well, this isn't, let's just try something like rngsc on error equals about 1. Now, one thing to note about this payload is some people put imgsrc on error equals x. You don't have to actually do that. You can just do that, and that obviously doesn't work. So we can view the source. So I'm going to say that there's obviously some sort of filtering or something going on. So because there's myobj is not defined, I'm going to get to the point. We can abuse this using JavaScript hoisting. If you don't know what that is, you can go ahead and Google it. It isn't obviously to do with XSS, but we can kind of abuse it to come into XSS. So if I was to put it into a point for you to understand, we're basically using JavaScript hoisting. What we're going to do is we're going to declare the object after our injection. So if I was to put our payload in here, right, so we have our payload for, imagine this is our payload, and then we have myobj equals. Okay, so that isn't gonna work, right? So we need a payload that's gonna work. Now if we just do document.domain here, okay, that doesn't work, okay. So if we just go alert document.domain, and then like something like that maybe. No, okay. So let's do var, the object name is my obj, okay, my obj equals, okay, and there we go. So we got XSS. So put this into learner terms. I'm still learning XSS. I'm not gonna say I'm a pro. Basically, I've explained how we're using JS Hoisting, JavaScript Hoisting, to abuse this. So the reason that this payload actually works, I believe it's because each quote like pairs with the native one or a native one, and basically the syntax becomes valid because of that, and obviously that gives us our alert. So I believe you can also maybe like this is valid, document dot domain var my obj equals, no, okay, so I don't believe that's a valid payload. So just walk through the payload or open a text editor. This is actually the payload, so it's alert whatever, so we can just put 1, we shut that, okay, and we put var my obj whatever the name is, okay, and so you can also study your errors in here. My obj equals, okay, so that should be the valid payload, and there you go, we get XSS. I hope I explained that well. I know this video has been a bit longer, and me just explaining a lot of stuff more than me showing, but you know, I wanted to make sure you understand why this is working. So yeah, I suggest you Google this, just in case you don't know how to spell it. And also, if you want to look about XSS, you can do hoisting. You can maybe do using to get access. I believe, I'm not too sure if Brute's done a write-up on this. I'm sure he has. He's done quite a good write-ups on a lot of things regarding XSS. So I do suggest you check him out. He made this. He made this really good challenge. He has a load of other challenge. So yeah, just go to check him out on Twitter. It'll be down below, and so will this challenge. Have a good day, people, or night. I don't know.